What's up, guys? Hang on. Do you hear that, Mo? Mo, do you hear that? It's the bearish music. It's the bear music. What's up, guys? Mike and Nick, FYI, neither of them can join me today. Lucky you. They're both stuck in business outside of trading. So you got me today. I was going to cancel it, but I was like, I'll have some fun. You won't really get much out of me on the stock side. Now, if you want me to look at stocks, I can look at stocks technically for you, but not too up to date today on the stock stuff. So I got you in the markets and the futures and forex and commodities and all that. But if you want me to look at charts, let me know. Yeah, that's a new intro that we've been working on. I use it in my morning stream every morning. I decided, it's my intro. It's my signature intro. So since I'm by myself today, I decided let's throw it on. Let's throw it on and say, hey, look, guys, you're stuck with me. You can look at FX losses, cards there as well. Bloodbath everywhere. Dude, it is nasty out there. Let's switch it over onto my live stream setup. And let's dump the stocks today, only futures. I know you would enjoy that, Simon. I'm with you. You like stocks anyway. But yeah, guys, we'll start with the market because, that is the bear in the room. Which currency is getting bagged today that caused Dixie to run up again? Oh, Born Lum. Yeah. So look, the SPY. This is the last week of the month. Last week of the month in September. And I honestly today, I really did think that today we were going to get a little bit of a pop, right? I mean, if you look at the market and you look at where we were entering, right? We were entering these lows. This is an important area, even dating back to the December 2020 ramp up here. A lot of rejection. It's just a big area of contention. Lot of tug of war, a lot of activity in this zone here. And I really did think, if we go to current price action, I really did think as we were popping up pre-market this morning that, hey, we'll get a little bit of a squeeze. Nope. I was like, it's end of month. Maybe we'll leave that little bit of a, that wick that we've been seeing here on the monthly. Nope, not happening. I mean, guys, looking at the SPY here on the weekly. Last week, nasty bearish close. Closed below this trend line here. Lows dating back to the low of COVID here on March. Last retest was here June 13th of 22. And we just broke through it last week. Strong close this week. We already gave our upper liquidity wick, pushed to the upside very briefly, and now we're breaking last week's low. We're now breaking these previous lows here. The previous lows were sitting at 362.17. We're now at 361.68. So we're now broken the lows. And so look, there's straight bearish selling here. There's straight selling activity in the market. No question about it. And remember, I talked about it's not even close to being oversold, right? We talked about that 2008, 2009, the 2008 move here where we were sitting extremely oversold. We're not even close to that yet, guys. Not even close. Looking at the monthly chart, because this is the last week of the month, left a nasty rejection up at 400 and just said goodbye. Sitting just breaking all these levels here, guys. And so look, really the next level to watch here, we're coming down to 330. That's going to be a retest. And now I use the 66 moving average. It's what I've been using for a while now. Find some pretty decent support here back in the COVID lows. 330 is where you'll find that support as well with that 66, as well as where you'll find that pivot point back here in January of 2020 and November of 2020. And yeah, so look, straight selling, breaking levels here. Pretty big area. Once we break through, we're breaking now and confirm, dude, there's nothing until 3:30. So not looking good. And as I know, Mo just mentioned, VIX, although it's elevated a little bit, you know, it's moving up a little bit. Not even close to the peak. I mean, look, 47, 45 to 47 area is where we peaked before many times. You know, we're not even close. We're at 33. 2008 was up at 84, so we're not even close to elevation yet. And so, you know, until the market and VIX start getting aligned here, yeah, dude, the rates are just on fire. And you're right. I mean, the market's selling because of the freaking rates here. The rates here. I mean, and I've been drawing these levels on my morning show. And look, we're entering 4. And so once we break 4, dude, it's just, I mean, look, we're just slicing through levels here. And it's just not looking good. And so with such strong rates here, that's one of the reasons we're probably seeing such a strong dollar today as well. Now, there's really no currency that's taking a beating today. I just think that it's just the overall strength in the rates that's also helping prop the dollar up. But yeah. So looking at the market intraday, you're going to want to see this 363 level. We now broke below it, finding consolidated highs right here. And so we're finding some type of support, some type of rejection here at 361. But it's just, in my opinion, minor support, minor rejection. So we're going to want to see this area here hold. If we break back above 363 into 364, then honestly, this could be a grab of liquidity before we start rallying back out of here, the lows. And we kind of close with the rejection wave, but unlikely given the strength in the rates and the dollar and everything. I'm trying to give you a scenario to both sides here. Looking at the dollar here, because that is again partially the elephant in the room. I really, looking at price action today, we were sitting here and coiling pretty nicely. I thought we were going to hang out at highs for a while. Thought we were just going to, blow off some steam. Not really go anywhere today based off the heavy action we saw in the Forex market yesterday. Not happening today, guys. It's pushing higher, breaking towards highs over here at 114,500. And looking at the area that we are now sitting in, looking left here. Yeah, I mean, I talked about it yesterday. This whole zone, 114 and 115, major pivot point area for the dollar, which is what we're sitting in now. And if we break 115, dude, 120 is in the play for sure. Strength, I mean, dude, it's just so much strength in the dollar that it's just, I mean, how do you even go on the other side of it? I mean, if you look at the pounds, you look at the euro, you look at the Canadian dollar, you look at the yen, everything's just soaring. I mean, look at the yen, man. And so, where foreign investors going to place their money so they can actually make some money and some returns in this type of fucking market here. We've already went over it. And no signs of stalling yet. Yeah, crypto just, I was looking at it, everything reversed from this morning. And I'm sorry I had to draw my zone this morning because everything just seems to love my zones. I drew this morning. I was like, this is the point of interest that I'm going to be looking for on Bitcoin. This 20,500. That's where we need to break through in order for us to get an extended rally. Yeah, it didn't. It didn't break through. And it rejected it and had a nice puke off of it. Breaking now lows, the open of the day, and we're now breaking lows here. And so Bitcoin took a beating. Ethereum took a beating. It just kind of shows you the sentiment out there right now. had my order set at parity a few days ago to triple down and didn't pull the trigger. Damn. That sucks. Looking at Euro, a big differ. Bad place to sell, but it just keeps getting worse. Yeah, no, I not a good place to sell, you're right, but it's approaching an important level. You know, I've had this channel drawn for a while now. Coming up to the bottom of it, but if you look at higher time frames, we're now broken through the most recent area of contention that gave us issues before. And so if you look at this orange line right here, that's where current price is. Dude, we have super clean price action heading all the way down, and I'm not saying we're going down to 85, but there's nothing in the way. So as far as price action is concerned, we can dump as far as we want until some type of fundamental shift is fixed, you know, and comes into play, and the euro gets propped up somehow. Because there's no random technical level to help hold this up until we get down to, like, I don't know, 90. So yeah, medium term, I'm thinking 80s as well. Yeah, it's just looking dangerous. But so I'm seeing if I missed anything in the chat. Looking at the pounds, I thought maybe we'd have a continuation in the pound today, just a little bit of a buying out of here. But if you look at the pound yen, I like to look at the pound yen because that has the largest wick and largest rejection. We actually rejected the breakdown here. And so we're sitting here going sideways, blowing off some steam, and then I guess it seems like it wants to continue down to fill some of this wick here. And so I think the pound has farther room to go. Pound USD throwing another rejection wick as well, and it looks like it wants to start heading back down, rolling over towards parity. And so if you look at levels on pound USD, most recent record lows in 1985. The actual low is 105, 200. 105, 200. And so this right here, there's a break below the previous low and this massive candle back up. So this whole area right here is going to be an area to watch. I think pound USD comes down at least to this zone here. But whether we break below or not, it's going to be something to keep an eye on, because this was a massive grab of liquidity, and typically this is the area that is going to come back to retest. If we have any bullish strength in it and any buying pressure at all, this is going to be where it comes into play. So we'll most likely see a fall off below 106.5, and then we'll see if 105.5 comes into play. If not, then parity's in sights. Other than, yeah, if we have some more, like I said, the only real thing that's going to fix the forex market is like a unified intervention from like all the central banks, and like we're not seeing that, obviously. So taking a look at gold today, I had a pretty good call on gold. The problem is there wasn't much movement in gold today. So I didn't take any trades. It was very choppy and very ugly. Not much you can do with this type of price action, so that's why I stayed away. Basically, I was looking for a short opportunity off of this level here, which you could have gotten, but it was very choppy and just not a clean move, and so I didn't take it. But looking at like overall levels, dude, monthly sitting at lows, weekly is sitting at, I mean, it's sitting at this previous area here, this 1630, which is the last area that we had as support until we then reached 1580. I think without a doubt, gold has 1500s in sight. Without a doubt, nobody's buying gold right now. Everyone's buying the dollar. If you look at the daily came up to retest this breakdown of 1645. which is a level back from 2020. And now we're shooting a rejection to continue down. And once we break that low of 1620, 1600, then 1580 is in sight for gold. And it still has plenty of room to go, not even close to being oversold yet on the higher time frames. So gold coming down. And now I really want to talk about oil, because I really am excited about oil. I really do think that there's going to be a really good opportunity to buy oil soon. So, as you know, I'm sure as you know, Russia came out. Russia is expected to push for a 1 million barrel per day production cut starting in November. Now, October 5th is when the OPEC meeting is. So that's when we'll find out about that production cut, potentially. But if November does become a production cut, and November is also when the SPR release is done, is finished, so we won't have the SPR release anymore. So that supply is being taken away. We potentially might have 1 million barrels per day production cut. And so you're taking a lot of supply away. And even though demand's not the best, it's bringing a ton of supply down, which could give you a nice buying opportunity for oil. Because if you take a look, oil's pricing something in, right? And I don't know what it is, whether it's recession, whether it's the cold winter, or whatever the fuck it is. Oil's pricing something in, obviously based off of price action. And so oil could be a potential dip buy soon. I'm not saying right now. November is also the midterms. So midterms, I think that we'll hit a recession after the midterms, and once they lock in their places and their spots, I think there's gonna be a lot of destruction after the midterms, personally, and I think there's gonna be some good plays in that. And so Goldman Sachs came out and said oil down longer term, only after it goes up a bit short term. I don't know, dude. I don't see eye to eye. I rarely see eye to eye with Goldman Sachs. They were calling for I don't even remember what fucking price target they were calling for oil, but they were way off, dude. I think 66 to 68. If oil can reach that, then I would be a dip buyer there, because then I think that's when we start seeing OPEC come in and start doing production cuts, propping it up. Everyone's calling for 380 at least. Yeah. I mean, it was absurd, and and we were calling more or less the top here. It's just JP Morgan had 380. Others were calling for 150 plus. Yeah, right. So keep your cash in hand. Don't buy. I'm not buying yet. I'm saying if we hit 66, that's priced in a recession. That's priced in a lot of things. Given everything going on right now with the supply side of oil, then it'll be a good squeeze play. I don't think it's a good time to buy right now by any means. Anything, you're right. But the oil market, as you know, can have some strength in it. It can have some really strong rallies. And I'm not an investor, so I'm not looking for a 300 move. I'm looking for hey, we come to 66. Let's see if we can get a rally to 90 to 100. Fingers crossed we go negative again. Easy play from there. Shit. Yeah, no kidding. But looking at intraday price today, I actually had a really good play on oil. So I was talking about this coiling action that we had going on in oil today. Oh yeah. And I was really looking for a squeeze out of here towards 80 to fill some of this move. Didn't quite get there, but I bagged some of it anyway. So as we started getting this breakout here, I did take a long as we started breaking this 78.23, but I held it because everything was kind of still indicating that we were pushing higher. We were creating higher lows, respecting the lows. We were squeezing out of this wedge in here, and I figured that this right here squeezed out, pulled back below, but was really just kind of baiting people in, pulling them out. So you kind of had to be patient on this one. And so I held through it, and it ended up working really well. Off of the 5-minute time frame, I ended up getting out right in here after I had realized that we weren't quite reaching where I wanted to go. So I caught a little bit out of it, not much. And then it ended up just kind of chopping around the rest of the day. But looking at the overall like 4 hour and move here, I do think that oil could have a little bit more of a squeeze out of it from here. Looking at the 4 hour, we found support at 77, and this whole area is from the daily, where we had a lot of wicks, a lot of retests, a lot of support and resistance. This whole area here, big zone of big pivot point and area of contention, and that's what we were kind of dipping into. And looking at the 4 hour, that's where we found the bottom. That's now where we found this retest and rejection wick, and we're now pushing off of it. And so if we can flip above 79, 79.35, I think we can get a little rally towards like 83. But again, next week is the OPEC meeting, so maybe oil hangs out in this area here until the meeting. But keeping an eye on the weekly, because we could be leaving this rejection wick. And looking at the overall move here, it's sitting at that 79% retracement, and this whole area here is typically like that golden zone on retracements that you want to see a strong rally out of. So could be decent. We'll see. I'm going to wait until the weekly closes with the rejection wick, wait till OPEC comes out. But we haven't heard anything about international market. If that crashes, then we get hit big time. What do you mean we haven't heard anything about international market? I mean, we have, right? We've been hearing about it every day. We talk about it every day. Yeah. But yeah, taking a look, that's really everything. But looking at the news that came out today, we had some pretty weird numbers out there today. We had the new home sales come out at 10 and just hit record numbers. It just absolutely soared here. And then we had the housing price index just take a massive dump. And so a bunch of conflicting numbers out there today, but I'm kind of going with the leading indicator that the housing market's gotten pretty bad and is going to start going down even more with the supply we have, and the prices, the house of prices coming down, could get pretty ugly out there, and it's the first to go during a recession. Durable goods came out a lot worse than expected. Came in at minus 0.2%, expected positive 0.1%. And so manufacturing is not looking good moving forward either. Yeah, it's I'm not bearish at all apparently. Today I learned that if we do a repeat of the worst bear market so far, SPY price target would be 80. That's bearish. Compared to that, I'm a purple. 80. Can you imagine? Fuck. 80. I would put my entire life in at 80 and then I'd be the richest man. What the hell? Shit. The worst bear market so far would bring us down to 80? Damn. But nice. That's if nuclear bomb hits maybe. Yes, that is if the nuclear war. Everyone trying to get the fuck out of housing market. Yeah, dude. Housing market's fucked. But yeah, taking a look at the DAX. DAX is actually notably pretty weak right now. DAX, Hang Seng is actually, so compared to the SPY, which were, you know, the 4 hour actually, that's not looking good. 4 hour closed below this previous low here. And so looking at the current 4 hour, I'd expect us to retrace around 360, 325 and then start rolling over and dumping from there. Unless we get an end of day squeeze, which then would help us out a little bit. But like Mark said, if we don't get that end of day squeeze, then we're in trouble. But looking at the DAX, DAX is actually moving pretty low here. It's a lot weaker than our market, obviously. Their next level's not until like 11.5, so DAX has a lot of room to go. Hang Seng is breaking through their most recent lows as well by far. So, yeah, it's overseas markets are looking very weak, and so that could drag into our markets as well, obviously. But IWM at lows, but hasn't broken lows yet. The Qs, again, somehow the strongest of everything with the rates being so strong right now. They are farthest away from their lows, but they're right at their lows. The Dow is just getting obliterated. Dow is just dead in the water, looking like the DAX over there. But yeah, I'm taking a look at the Dow here. Dow could come into potential support, maybe around 29. I don't know, dude. But regardless, Dow's coming down a lot farther, a lot harder. So overall, every market just looks extremely weak right now. So more lows to come. But yeah. Let's see, anything else? Anything else before I leave you fellas? I don't know, but look, again, this is the last few days of the week, so we have, what, 4 days left? 3 days left. What's Bitcoin doing? Yeah, Bitcoin's just sitting at lows here. So my thing with Bitcoin is Bitcoin will sell enough. Will sell enough. If you look at this zone in Bitcoin here, where we were creating these higher lows, right? Squeezing up into this 20,000 mark, hit 20,000, broke out of the zone, and went right back below. So you're seeing that there's way more strength and volume in the selling. Buyers couldn't squeeze it by any means farther out of here through 20,000. 19,666 was that breakout back in 2018, I believe. And so we're now back below that, and so we're in bearish territory here, obviously, and we have a lot of consolidation going on below this whole previous support area. Daily is shooting a nasty rejection wick, so this could have been like the last glimmer of buying hope before it starts dying. And so I think Bitcoin, I think this could be the start of a more extreme sell-off. Once we break these lows here, we're literally sitting at this trend line here, this weekly trend line. And once Bitcoin breaks 18,700, I think it's bye-bye Bitcoin, and we're heading right down to 16,000 to start. Maybe a wick retrace first on Bitcoin. I don't know. These maybe, I mean, Bitcoin does like to retrace its wicks, but I think it's bye-bye Bitcoin. But I think buying when VIX is 40, 45 is a good buy. Yeah, it depends where we're at. I think it just depends on where we're at and how much selling we've seen. Because like I said, in 2008, we hit 84. So we'll have to see what the market conditions looking like. But could have a lot more than that. Let's see here. But yeah, this is the last week of the month. So we're going to get a lot of price discovery coming up the next week or two. Once we close if we see this monthly close on Bitcoin close below this 19,666, we're going to see an absolute you will see absolute carnage in October, and we're going to see a pretty extreme sell-off back down to 13,000, I bet you. And I think that means then we'll see a nice strong dollar as well. Rates will continue higher, dude. We're just getting started here. So, you still bearish towards the end of the year? I'm not much bearish. I am. I tell you what. I'll tell you why I am. Because the midterms are in November, and I think that we see even more weakness after midterms. Because then I think we see a lot of people showing their hands after they secure their seat. I think we're going to have, Europe's going to have a really cold winter, really tight supply on energy and gas, oil, and so that could cause weakness on our side as well. There's just a lot of things, you know. I think we might be hitting a recession. I think something's going to break, and the Fed will, the Fed will have to step in, but they won't. And so I don't know. I don't know how we get that Santa rally unless we start seeing some type of optimism or capitulation or something, you know? So obviously that's a few months away, so a lot could happen. Fed will give stimmy checks maybe. I would not count on that. They're going to give stimmy checks to Ukraine and that's it. Oh man, they're giving your stimmy checks away. It's already wrapped up in that new bill. Man, this dollar is strong. But yeah, actually I somehow managed to make this show go 40 minutes. Somehow, I don't know how. I don't really have anything else to cover for you guys. That's really it. But again, Mike and Nick will be back on, or I guess Mike will be back on tomorrow. So if you have any other questions, bring it up to him. But I appreciate you hanging out with me. It's been fun. Yeah. I'm just going to hop off before the real carnage happens. Look at the SPY. SPY is breaking through the lows as we speak. So, yeah, look out below. But have a good rest of your day, guys. I'll see you on my show tomorrow morning. Peace. Take care.